Chanukah soon going to be here. What a holiday. So when you ask someone, what are you celebrating? You might get two different answers. One may be the miraculous victories that the Maccabim had over the Greeks, a family winning a war against an empire. That's quite something. That would tell you it's about our survival. That would tell you it's about courage. That would tell you it's about principles and ideals. We'll go back to that in a moment. You could also hear someone say, it's about miracles. When they got to the Holy Temple, the Beis HaMikdash, and they discovered that it was completely defiled, they somehow managed to find a small vial of pure oil, which is in and of itself a miracle. It's enough for one day, but it lasted 8 days. That's a miracle. So we have the oil and we have the war. What's Chanukah really about? So of course, being Jewish, we'll say, it's about both. Okay. How so? Why were the Maccabim fighting the Greeks? You'd have to be crazy to say my family could win an empire. And why bother? What was so bad about Greeks? Think of the beautiful things that they brought into the world, their statuary, their sense of poetry and balance, their humanism, their literature, their plays. Why do battle with the Greeks? The Greeks created a way of life in which the human being was the epicenter. There was no room for God. They ended up opposing specific mitzvot, the mitzvot that said, there's more to the world than you. Shabbos tells you that time could be sanctified. To them, time is a way of measuring change and nothing more. There's no goal, there's no purpose. They oppose seeing purposefulness as being an escape from living a life that's totally human-centered. For the same reason, they opposed the ceremonies revolving around the consecration of the new month, Rosh Chodesh. That was the very first mitzvah we were given as a group. Chodesh is related to the word chiddush, new. We have new goals, progression, moving towards what? Towards something higher than ourselves. Brit Milah, they oppose circumcision. The body is perfect as is, they thought. And we're saying, no, the body is an instrument towards moving oneself towards meaning and sanctity. So the war started when they felt that the time had come to force their human-centered world upon others. So there would be no striving, only questions about how, no questions about why, no questions about, and who am I in the eternal sense. And in response to that force, there was a battle, and the battle was won. So as I said, this was about Jewish survival, not about human survival, about Jewish survival. Survival as a people who have a defined relationship to Hashem, which is why we happen to be the people who brought a sense of morality into the world. But it's not only us to Him, it's Him to us. The miracle of the oil is about God's response to us. It's no coincidence that the number of days that the menorah stayed lit until new oil was found was 8. When you look at anything physical, there are 6 sides, the 4 sides up and down, and we'll call that surface. But there's also an interior. God created the world in 6 days, the Torah tells us. But there's also meaning, that's Shabbat, the inner dimension. But there's something higher, 8, God Himself. The word 8, Shmona, has the same root as the word shemen, oil. Put some oil in a glass, then put in water. The oil will still rise to the top. Water, the sustainer of life, it comes down through geshem, rain, which is the root of the Hebrew word gashmiut, material reality. Above that, there's something higher. We're celebrating who we are, in whose presence we live, and of course the miracles that work for both us and through Him.